So again, the way I look at this is there's two sides of the P&L, right? You've got your cost structure, then you also have revenue. Okay. And so as the modern law firm looks at integrating AI into their workflows, what we're discovering is you can't. So let's say contingency, right? You're working on contingency, and AI would be a no brainer because you can more efficiently, simple as create a demand, you can organize a file, create a case line, executive summaries, so many things that you can do very quickly. And I did a little research before popping on because think about this for a second. We're working on a case right now for a client that there's a medical chronology that is over 100,000 pages, right? So let's say you have a crane falls on an apartment building, you've got multiple plaintiffs and they end up, right? You could get in the hundreds, 200,000 pages of medical chronology. So I did a little research on what it would cost by the time you organize it, analyze it, right? And now you can do way more. But the point is, a huge medcron could cost you as much as $3, $4, up to $500,000, right? With even human in the middle using AI, let's say you could get that cost down to $20,000, $10,000, right? So if you had three partners in a firm and they were going to spend $400,000, now they spend $350,000 that drops to the bottom line, not taxable because it's not revenue, right? Right to the bottom line, three guys just split 100 grand. Simple use case, right? Now, is that a big medcron to tackle? Certainly. But if you think about, again, from the expense side, even the cost of that can then be externalized to the client, right? So in addition to the 33%, because they've used this platform and they can show that it was used specifically for this case, they can externalize that cost, bringing it almost down to zero. So that's just one simple use case that could change the P&L. But if you think about the task that we perform, right? So for example, in a billable hour use case, right? So you've got a law firm that bills by the hour. There are a lot of things that they do that aren't billed by the hour, right? Including efficiencies lost by not doing a great job paying attention of what is billable and what is not. But in terms of intake, for example, the initial intake, that's not a billable process, but it takes time. So if you think of the use case of someone writing in a stylus on an iPad, converting that into a long email, sending that to a law assistant who then sends it out for a little research, and then an engagement letter is sent. Imagine if you take all that 6-hour process and turn it down and boil it down to 10 minutes. That's a lot of time. And if you do that 3 times a week, times 4.33 times a month, that's a lot of time, right?